Hi guys, and welcome back to my coding corner, and today we're going to be refining and reorganising my help apps within my coding corner app. And we've got the closed one, which is going to be located in the help section, but nothing needs to be done to that. So what we're going to look at is I'm just going to quickly add in another label, and we'll unlock that as well. We'll call it help label. We'll put help there, and I'm going to pop that up here for a moment. And these three are the apps I want to look at, so I can do them all. I can reduce multiple button sizes at the same time, which is what I've just done. Make sure there's a bit of a gap between them. Eventually, when I introduce the new feature, because we'll do group boxes, I'll put everything into a designated group box. So then everything then looks more meaningful. And then the help section bit there. And then make sure this is perfectly in the centre. That looks alright. And then we'll lock those into place. Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Or at least I think I am. False alarm. And then we'll re-enable the About This app as well, because that'll be the one that we look at first. Pop them down to the bottom, because they're the three that I've got left to go after I've done the help apps. There'll be more programs added to this app, but for now let's do the About This form. I'm going to widen this out just while I sort out how I'm going to rearrange everything. Let's do display semi-bold, and I'll make that size 20. One thing I do need to do is change the maximum size of the text box. And then when we look at that, that looks much better than what I had before. And then let's come back out of that. We'll do the version next. The version number. And we'll make that 14. I think in this case we better make that 15 and display. So what that does, and then we'll make that size, because the maximum size of that is 39. We'll make that 50. And we'll put that to the right hand side. I'm just thinking at this point, can I just move that up? don't think I can because it's locked. That's a shame because I want that to be on the same row. But that's what we're looking at instead. Let's see. This looks like at 1,000. And then let's just move this down a bit further, so we'll just reduce the size of that even further. So it looks like at 900. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. See what that looks like at 900 squared. There we go, that looks good. And then what I want to do at this point is we're not going to bother about doing those. I'm just going to add in 2 labels of my own. Get rid of that. And then there'll be no issues. And then let me just double check. That leaves me with just that. And then I'm going to add 2 separate labels instead. Just had another idea. Just gonna copy that a moment. Just had this idea. Version label. I just had this mad idea. And then we'll do version label dot text. That. Let's see if that works. No, it didn't. So I guess then in this case, we'll leave that as it is. Right, let's come out of that for now. I think I might have to reset this. me.versionLabel.text. Version label, because that's what I've called it, version label. Let's try it this way. That worked. And hopefully this will be freely movable. It is. Although what I want to do, I think I'm just going to have to do this from scratch. Oh. Hopefully it would have done something I can move. Right, here's what I'm going to do. Start it again from scratch. And there we go. We'll add in where is it? Yeah. So we'll add a picture. No, I assume it'll come under image. Picture box. And then image. On that. This is going to be fun because I want to try and do that so it's much smaller. See if I can do just want to see that size. We can do auto size. Or we can do a stretch image, which looks much better. That's much better. And then, following on what I've got here, I need to add some labels back. I call it label production name. So add the labels back. Call it label production. Need to remind myself what they are. Label production name. And then that should hopefully clear an error. Label product name. And that should clear the label. That should clear that label production name. Yeah, that error's gone now. Still got 2 left to go. And then we'll make that 20 and display semi-bold. Just going to comment these two out, so then I can then work out if this works. It does. Sorry, this has taken a bit longer than normal. Just want to make sure that everything is working as normal. And then we'll add another label to that. And the second one, let's remove the comment from that version label. Try that again. That fixes that. And then I want to make that size 15. Because I was hoping to be able to put that on the same row. Like that. That's what I wanted. Right, put it up here for the moment. Let's have a look. at that, and then just call it product 1, product name. I think in this case I might want to make it right aligned. See what that looks like. Yeah, that didn't work too well, so let's take care of that and see what that does. And then put the label up here. And I'll rename I'll put the text on that to version. And at the same time, I'm just going to update that. So with series 3, 2 new programs, number of programs in total, and the year. And the same, whoops, the same here as well. And then I'll just do, if it will let me, just do that. And that takes care of that for the moment. Let me have a look at what this looks like. Let's put that, make that right aligned. See what that does. Yeah, that will do for now. Just have to move this down a bit. And then put that there. Add 2 more labels. Call this one company label. And text there. I think in this case I might just have this as one label. Can't do that. If I don't, I will do that. Let's come out of that for now. I've opened up Microsoft Word. And then so I've done that, and then I'll make that size, change the size of that as well. And then let's have a look what this looks like. Well, that looks a bit better. And then we just need to do a text box description text. Text box description. Which I'll update off screen. So with text box. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. Not yet anyway. And then I'll just make that close button. For now. And then I'll add a close button. And then as the text I'll put close. Put that to the bottom. And then let's have a look at that. And see what that does. So it's stretched. So it's done the auto stretch like I wanted it to. Let me just see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks very skewiff. But I guess that'll do for now. And then I'll add the text description later. What I also want to do is update this. So I've got the welcome label, which I'm just going to rebrand as my coding corner. And I'm going to size that down to 20. And then do unlock that. And then do not that. So all I really need is the close button. And then change the episode organizer to what's new. going to make that update label, rename that, and then let's put that here for a moment. But what I do want to experiment with let me unlock that, because what I want to try and do, I need to unlock this form as well. I can find it, there it is. Just going to pop that down here for a moment and do a rich text box. Like that. Put that there for now. Let's put up here. And then I'll put the location of this down as well, or unlock it. Because what I want to do got that. Update 2025. But what I want to do also this one's the 2026. Need to remember update 2020, update year, rich text. And then that one, and then I'll do the same here as well. Let's see what update. And then that. And then I'm going to add a button. If I'm just going to do a simple experiment here, and if that works, I'll just do the rest of it off screen. because I think this works. If this works, it'll work out much better. And over here, and then we want update 2024 rich text dot show. But what I do want to do also while I'm thinking about it, is do another do another rich text box, and then do and then select from the following years. And then we'll go into that. We'll launch the form. We'll do something for the form. Initialize rich text dot show. And then let's see what this does. Of course, I need to re-enable the button. Let me just quickly do that. It doesn't work. I think I've done something. Right, what have we got here? Right, in which case, what we'll do is we'll try a visible and see what that does. Right, we'll have to look at something else on that. I just think then what I'll do is we'll do, there's an idea. An idea as to what I could do. A little experiment. Let's have a look at disabling the others. And then I'll put that in here. that false. Make that true. I think I ought to put the close button down at the bottom. I'll leave it where it is for now, and then when I've done the others I'll just sort that out. There we go, that works. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to what I'll do is I'll just sort these out. What I've got here I'll update to the screen. And then we'll do let's close off, pardon me. And put that there. I'm going to do another one here as well. And updates 2025 button. Do that. And do the same here as well. And then with that would be what it will look like once it's all done. And then I'll just make them all read only when we get there. But let's just, because I'm just going to make that false and make that true. Make that false, if I can spell it correctly. Make that true. And if this works, I'll just sort the rest of the, I'll just sort the information out off screen. That works, and that, and that. I think I might need to widen up the buttons again. I will do that off screen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.